I call Andrew Bailey.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. It's a pleasure to be here, and I hope you've had a good break. Great to be talking on this bill tonight and on the first day of Parliament for 2016. And particularly to be talking on this bill, the Patents, Trans-Tasman Patent Attorneys and Other Matters Amendment Bill. Mr Speaker, whilst this bill seems confined in its extent of what it's seeking to address, I put it to you that this bill is actually crucial for New Zealand, not particularly around the exact provisions in this bill, but what it means for New Zealand. And in essence, IP, or intellectual property, is really a preeminent source of competitive advantage in today's knowledge economy. And as for New Zealand to grow in the international sector, how we protect IP, how we promote IP, and how we assist people to want to undertake that innovative process and go through a patent process is absolutely crucial if we are to continue to be successful as a nation. Traditionally, bankers and financiers have always looked at the balance sheets of companies and looked at the fixed assets, and it was interesting, my colleague, Mr Kamal Bakshi, was talking about the Chartered Accountants. And, of course, there are a lot of rules around how you value fixed assets. More recently, probably over the last 10 to 15 years, there's been a migration to also valuing brands. But now IP is so crucial to driving future wealth that the need to focus on that part of the balance sheet is really, really important. And it's staggering if you start to think about all the Crown research institutes that the government is involved in, all the IP that resides within government itself and all its activities, let alone the commercial sector. It is a huge value that is often unrecognised and probably not properly valued in the sense that it's not exploited and utilised as well as it should. The key issue with IP is it's very, very difficult, first of all, to define what is new and unique when you go to patent a product or that situation, and certainly to actually undertake the search, which often has to be a worldwide search, to make sure there's no competing IP that may be related, but quite difficult to understand whether it's valid or not. The second thing is actually the process to register a patent. And if any of you have been involved in it, it's a multiple-step process taking many years to complete. And if you are successful in actually getting IP, which is not always the case, there's an ongoing monitoring and management process which is difficult, expensive, and so anything that we are doing to actually enhance or reduce that cost is removing some of the barriers to helping our vibrant innovators in New Zealand to actually get underway and do some of this good work. And when you think about the dynamic parts of our economy, we should be doing all of this. So, Mr Speaker, I've got to say, I highly recommend this bill. I think it's insightful. I think it's a great step towards improving New Zealand's economic situation. Thank you very much.
The Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr Speaker, first opportunity to contribute this year, so can I offer a New Year greeting to all colleagues, and particularly as it's the Lunar New